Alright guys, so good morning, and as you can see, a little teaser of my new exhaust. But what we're pretty much focused on today is where have I been? So basically, in the last few months I've been pretty inactive. I've had a lot of stuff going on. Got a job, and school's been pretty crazy, just hanging out with friends, and just kind of neglected my YouTube channel a little bit. And hopefully we're going to be able to bring back the YouTube channel just a little bit. Be a little bit more active on the YouTube channel with installs on the car. As you can see, I've done quite a few things to even the interior, and we're just gonna see if we can upload a little bit more often. And I'm just kind of here to go over what's been going on in the past few months and update you guys a little bit, and hopefully be back here to stay a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and head over to the park that I have here in my town, and we'll go over a little bit of what's been going on with the car in the past few months. Alright guys, so we are here at the park, and I'm going to go ahead and go over a few of the obvious things to the outside of the car. Nothing really in the front. Something that I did a while ago with my friend was I cleared the lenses on the headlights. So we took some sandpaper and we sanded it down. I think it was like 600 and then 1200, somewhere in there. And then we took acrylic lacquer and just painted it right over, and it took all the fogging off the front. Made the lenses all clear. Another thing with the outside, I really need to clean them, are my new wheels. I got WCI SY10s, as you can see. Only thing with the SY10s is, I don't know if you guys have heard, but WCI, the owner, made a racist comment on their Instagram page. So that's not very exciting for me to have these anymore. I'm looking into getting something else, not necessarily only because of that, but I really like the look of those. The other ones that I'm looking into getting, not that I don't like the look of these, but I think these other ones would just look absolutely amazing on this car, especially with this color. But I'll go ahead and get you another shot of the wheels as soon as I clean them up. They're a little bit dark and dirty from all the brake dust right now. They have an amazing silver shine when they're nice and clean. You can see it a little bit more with the back ones. They're quite silver, but they just look absolutely stunning when they're nice and clean. In the back, we do have a GLI lip now. This is the Wolfsburg 1.8T 2001, and as you know, it comes with this stupid plastic trim on the back, and I hated that. So I picked up this lip from a guy in LA, and it was 130 bucks. It was full of scratches, but I have a friend whose dad knows how to paint, and he owns his own auto body shop, so it was the platinum gray from the GLI, and we painted it to the tornado red on this car. And I don't know if you could notice in any of my other videos, but the rear bumper actually had a giant scratch right about here. It went from right about here all the way across the bumper to somewhere above the exhaust, and we took the bumper and we sanded it down and did a few bodywork things to it, and got all the scratches out. As you can see, I have no wing on the back, and I have these little plugs to plug the hole so no rain gets in there. Planning on getting a GLI trunk, but I did like the look without the wing a little bit better, although I had to sacrifice a little bit by having these plugs in the trunk. It makes it look a little weird, but oh well, we're getting there. Another thing that I have done, as you can see from what I'm showing off the rear bumper, is the exhaust. So I'm going to have to talk a little bit about this, and it is a little bit dirty. It has been raining here, so I'm waiting to wash it for a little bit. But I did a full exhaust on this car, turbo back exhaust, and I really like the turbo back exhaust that I put on this car. I went with a eBay downpipe because, I mean, it's a piece of metal. I figured can't really go wrong with that, same as what I was saying for the cold air intake. So I do have an eBay downpipe, and then it is catted with a 42 Draft Designs cat, and it's resonated with 42 Draft Designs resonator, and then it's straight all the way back. So the downpipe is of course 3 inches, and it's 2.5 cat back. So I really like this exhaust. It sounds amazing. And then, as you can see back here, we have the ECS tuning tip on the back. But yeah, I was just gonna say I love the exhaust on this car. I put a decent amount of money into it, not as much as I would have if I bought straight off 42 Draft Designs, but put good money into it, and I think it sounds great. Do wait for when I put the actual video online with the whole exhaust, you know, cold starts and everything. Just wanted to give you a little cold start clip of the exhaust that I put on there, so you guys have something to look forward to. There's nothing else really with the outside of the car. Just as I said, the wheels, the exhaust, painting the bumper, and of course the headlights. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll do a few interior things. So lots happened on this car so far. As you can see, we have a dual gauge pod. I'm looking to get an air fuel gauge, but as you know, those are really expensive, so saving up for that. We have the Pro Sport Evo Series digital boost gauge in here. I love it, just for the sheer fact that it's got the sweep on the gauge when you first start it up, and that it's digital, and it has the kind of like manual looking thing. It's not just a number, it's also got the actual gauge on it. So I'll just give you a little show of what it does when you first start it up. When you turn on the ignition, it does the whole sweep, and then you get the actual gauge on here, and it's got the whole outer edge of that, and then the actual boost number in the middle. And then of course I picked up, and this is a steering wheel of an A4, but I love the A4 steering wheel just for the sheer fact that it has the audio controls on it, so I can wire them into my stereo, and it's pretty much the exact same thing as the S4 steering wheel. It's feels amazing. I picked this up out of a junkyard car, and it's almost like perfect quality. The only thing that's wrong with it is there's a little bit of a mess up on the top up here, but other than that, it's absolutely perfect. Other than that, there's not really much performance-oriented mods in here. I did do something in the trunk that I will show you. Alright, so one of the things that I'm most proud of would be my two JL Audio subwoofers. I installed these not too long ago. They're powered by a Pioneer GM-D8601 amp. It's pushing about 500 watts at 2 ohms, although they are wired in parallel right now, so I'm getting 1 ohm between the subs, which is pushing 800 watts to them. And I have a dual amplifier wiring kit by Crutchfield. It's 4 gauge, splits into 8 gauge. Since the 8 gauge run is very short, it's fine to run the 8 gauge for that much wattage. And the dual amp wiring kit helps me so that when I install the amp for the highs on the other side of the box, already have the wiring set. And I did run the fuses into the trunk so I could mount them on the top of the trunk. I just think the look is great when you do that. And we're gonna have a Pioneer GM-D8604 amp powering the highs. These subs sound great. I love them. I have them in the Sound Ordnance ported box. I'm thinking about not running this box for too long, as this box is 0.3 cubic feet bigger per sub than is recommended, so I might build my own box just for sound's sake. But I love the install that happened on these subs. I mean, it's just perfect. I think the wiring at the top looks absolutely stunning with all the install and how it went, and then of course how clean I was able to run it inside this little box right here where the 6-disc changer used to be. So I mean, you just gotta undo these two little clip things right here and it pulls down, and I stuffed all the wire in there. The 2 power wire I run through the little screw hole that used to be right there, and then I ran the remote turn on and the amplifier boost on the top of the wheel well right there, and just close this little hood right here, latch these 2 latches, and all the wiring just comes out right there, super clean into the amp. Other than that, I guess it's time to check out engine mods. Alright, so quite a bit of stuff is going on in the engine right here. As you can see, we have our Forge 007 diverter valve. We have lots of silicone red boost hose to replace old cracked factory lines. Plenty of wiring to go around, which I'll explain. Of course, the cold air intake. We have a bigger alternator. We have a ECS aluminum split coolant fitting. We also have I don't know if you can see it down there, in the back right there, all the way right where it should be focusing, but it's not. We have a aluminum thermostat housing with a lower opening temperature thermostat. That's pretty much it. Of course, the stock wiring is upgraded to all, I did the big 3 upgrade, so that way we have plenty of power for the subs. And I did bypass the N249 because I thought it was giving me problems, but it turns out my N75 went bad, so I have one of those in the mail right now. We'll go ahead and do an install on that now that I'm finally back on YouTube. So I just have a hose straight off the one of the main vacuum lines coming to the from the manifold, and then it goes straight down and into the diverter valve right up there. Other than that, there's not too much going on in the engine. I do have full G13 coolant now. When I did the thermostat housing, and I flushed the whole cooling system. Works amazing now. So I'm gonna explain this wiring. So basically I had a wiring issue a while ago, and I decided, you know what, screw it, let's go do the big 3 upgrade. So I didn't quite do big 3, I went 4 gauge instead of 0 gauge, as the system that I'm putting in this car is not gonna use 0 gauge, and 0 gauge is like twice as expensive as 4 gauge. So 4 gauge is big enough for everything that I'll be putting in the car. Maybe if it comes down to it, I might have to go 0 gauge, but for now it's all 4 gauge. So we have our main wire right here going to the subs, and then we have our wire right here going into this distribution box. So I had to get a second distribution box because my battery terminals only have 2 4 gauge outputs, and I needed one for the subs, one for the starter, and one for the stock distribution box. So I have this one going to the subs, I wanted it straight off the battery, and then I have this power wire going straight into this distribution box, and as you can see we have this cable which goes into the stock distribution box on the car, and then the other cable goes down to the starter down there. I upgraded the wire from the alternator. This is a 4 gauge wire as well. Kind of had to modify the box a little bit to get it to fit. The clips pretty much broke off on the box, but you know, it's whatever, but the box still pretty much fits like stock. I ran out of negative ground wire, so we have one wire. This one goes to the chassis and this one goes to the starter. When I get my when I finish and get this ground wire, more of it, then I'll have the same wire as this running to, this one going to the starter, so it doesn't have to look like this crappy old wire that I found in the car. And that's pretty much everything that's going on with the distribution box. I might think about upgrading this wire right here to 4 gauge, this one right here, but we'll see. It seems to be doing okay. I want to explain this alternator that I got. My alternator actually died. It wasn't having a very good time, so I went ahead and got the one that O'Reilly sells, and I upgraded it to the 120 amp instead of the stock 90 that's in the car. It's doing okay on the stereo. I'm going to end up needing to install a capacitor, because the lows, it just kind of dies out a little bit on, so we'll see. And then I just wanted to say I got one of those Gates belts that they sell, which I really enjoy because the belt, it's nice and solid, and I just know it's a good belt. Other than that, there's not really much done in the engine bay. Of course, this is a slightly bigger battery. Already saw the install on that. I'm thinking about going with full excess power setup now that I'm going decent sized stuff in the car, just so I can make sure I have plenty of listening time off the engine being on. And of course we have our boost gauge wiring. But yeah, nothing really else special is going on in here, although plenty of things to come regarding these things right here. Just a little innuendo. And of course regarding something under here, like I already said, the N75 is on its way here. And maybe a little bit of cleanup. As you can see, it's pretty dirty in here. But other than that, that's pretty much all that's been going on with the car so far. Plenty of stuff has been going on. I mean, it's just kind of thing after thing after thing, but I haven't really had time to film any of it. And now that I don't have to fix as many things on the car, quite a few things went wrong with it, like the alternator and a few other things that I had to buy, but now it's all back to normal, and hopefully we can start using a little bit of our extra play money towards getting a few extra things on the car that will improve performance and just overall fun with the car. So just a little update on what's been going on, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely be back with a few to come. As I said, we of course have an exhaust video, the install on the N75, and definitely something to come. this. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. We got plenty of stuff coming. Anyways, have a good day, you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out. Right at the end of the video, I just want to make a quick apology. I'm sorry about not uploading as much, and I'm going to try and upload as much as I can starting now. Try and get back into YouTube, and just hopefully you guys enjoy the new content. I'm going to try and put a little new edge on things, as I've been learning a little bit in editing since I have an editing class in school now. But either way, just wanted to give a quick apology, and hopefully starting the new year in 2017, make a promise to try and upload more.